Hi, Alex. Hi, Paula.
Hi.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
Yeah, good, good. Great to see you. We only, like I said to Alex before, I only see you guys on TV. And
Yeah.
basically, it's so nice. I'm so, what do you call this? Starstruck. Okay.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyway, since we only have 15 minutes, I'm so amazed that Paula, first tell us, how did you get started in F1?
Well, it's taken me like 15 years. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Alex can attest to this. My first 2, 3, even probably 4 years, Alex, were rocky, and I was really thrown into the deep end, and I found every single show frightening. And Formula One fans are extremely astute, extremely loyal, and I think they were just not happy with having this girl who didn't know anything. And at the time, I knew very little. I don't know what I would have done without Alex at the time,
Yeah.
and my co-host Steve Dawson, honestly. But here I am, 15 years later, along with Alex. So
Yeah.
done something right, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah. Hey Paula,
yeah, we also have
Paula, you did such a good job.
yeah, yeah, she is, yes, Alex. And I was just going to
Yeah,
say
she did
that,
such a.
yeah, yeah. And Alex, I was just going to say that you also have Marlon Stackinger, our Filipino driver, there with you sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, it's great having Marlon on board as well. I've only worked with him I think once. It's
I
normally
know.
just Paula and Marlon, but yeah, no, it's great. You got Marlon coming on board. You got Jasmine, and of course Matthew as well, and we're all very different. Yeah, most of the time we're very different. But yeah, it's been good fun. But I just wanted to add to that. Paula, when she first came in, it was such a breath of fresh air, because she never, there's no, Paula's exactly what you see, and she brought that breath of fresh air, I think, to motorsports, and it was really nice having that from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's great.
That's lovely.
Okay, okay. So now we get down to the nitty gritty of this interview, and basically, Paula, Alex, soon we will have obviously Netflix showing how F1 was able to do the series in the pandemic during these pandemic times. Can you tell us how hard was it for you guys to cover F1 during that time?
Who
Yeah,
starts?
maybe start with Paula. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I personally found it extremely difficult. I think just from a technical point of view and not having my pundits next to me. So the first, let's say the first few races, I would remain in Singapore and anchor from our Singapore studio. So at least I had the structure of Singapore and our gallery there with my pundits doing it remotely. But then eventually I realized that it wasn't feasible for me to keep coming in and out with all the quarantining, and I was getting emotionally quite exhausted. So I was allowed to do my show remotely too. But I have to tell you, it's been so difficult, just technically challenging, trying to make everything work between the three of us. I think we're the only show that's ever been done from Fox Sports remotely, including the anchor, that all three of us have been in different places. So it was, it was extremely hard, and I'm just so proud to have worked with this team, like all our production crew in Singapore, that the amount of emotional support we needed. It wasn't just, yeah, you're doing a great job. It was like, it was deeper than that. It was like, okay, are we hitting the right notes? Do we feel disconnected? Alex, Matthew, and I, are we coming together? Are we getting the story across? I mean, I don't know how Alex found it. He probably found it a little bit easier because he'd already been doing it remotely, right, Alex?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Alex,
that's a good point. I mean, it was very tricky, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, the good thing is, Paul, we're all used to working with each other, aren't we?
Exactly.
In many ways. So we know our bits and pieces. But you're right, you can't underestimate the production. The production of the guys behind the scenes, really. They really brought it together. And luckily we had a good year or so. Not a good year, but, the racing was exciting. So we had some really good stuff to watch. And that, it was tricky, but the racing sure did make up for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've been following the test season, the pre-season test going around, and it looks like, there are quite some new surprises happening. So, Paula, who do you think would be your top drivers this year?
Well, I mean, there weren't massive surprises. Maybe the biggest surprise would be from testing was just how poor Mercedes were, I would say, at this point. Again, I'm going to refer to what Alex said as we recorded our preview show that we don't want to read too much into that because we know Mercedes have a tendency to bounce back. So maybe they'll start off quite poor and then pick up. I think I am really excited by McLaren. I think technically speaking, I mean, I'm not a tech expert at all, but they've done some innovative things which Alex can maybe shed some light on, which I think has maybe put them in the spotlight a little bit more, Alex, right? With their, is it their diffuser, Alex, that they're using testing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some interesting ideas, aren't there, Paul? You're right. You've got the diffuser with McLaren. Renault also has the interesting engine cover they have. They've got the radiator on top of the engine hoop. So there are a few interesting bits and pieces. But I agree with you, Paula. I think Mercedes might start not strong. Maybe Red Bull going to start a bit stronger. But for sure, 100% Mercedes will be back. Then it's just a matter of time.
So you think, Alex, that basically Max Verstappen topping that test session is not, he proclaimed that it was the best session ever.
Yeah, I think in Verstappen's career, that was definitely Red Bull's best preseason. Definitely. So that's really good news. I think they've really got on top of the new floor, where the changes they had to do to the floor and the diffuser. So they've certainly hit the ground running. The car looks very stable. So when we go to, especially when you're short of testing, you're not 100% in your comfort zone. So you come to the first round, you need something and it looks like Red Bull have that. So I think they're going to be favorites coming to the first race. But Mercedes have too much strength and depth, and for me, for the season, they still start the favorites. I mean, how many they've won it 7 years in a row. So it's pretty incredible the run they had.
I'm sure, Paula, you also witnessed how Vettel, Sebastian Vettel, came from Red Bull, went to Ferrari, and then all of a sudden went down again to Aston Martin, and now. Do you think that Sebastian Vettel, obviously I'm asking because I'm a fan, do you still think that he has something left in him?
Oh God, that is such a massive question. I truly believe he believes he's got something left in him because look, he endured that last year. It was interesting to hear Charles Leclerc say, "Oh, coming into the team this year, there was a new atmosphere," kind of alluding to the fact that Vettel's last year made the team seem really fractured. And that made me feel really sad because it can't have been easy for Sebastian Vettel, You've got to go through that team with Ferrari, knowing that it's coming to an end on whatever terms we don't know. I'd love to see him kind of be on top. He's a 4-time world champion. To just end his career on a downward spiral would be heartbreaking for the Vettel fans. But unfortunately, this Aston Martin, if you want to base it purely on what we saw in testing, it's not looking particularly
good.
Anything, is it right now? And he's got to get used to a new car, a new environment, which they did say during testing that his side of the garage, his experience, his knowledge really did come to the fore, regardless of the fact that his performance wasn't there. He remains optimistic. So he's doing all the right things externally and internally, but we really want to see him in a competitive car. Then we want to see if he's still got that bite in him. Can he overtake even? I mean, what is he capable of doing? What do you think he can do? Do you think he's still got it in him? You're a big fan. Would you say he does?
Yes, obviously I do. And in fact, I was so excited. I keep writing about them, and because with Aston Martin having the Mercedes power plant in that formula, I was so, I was expecting them to top the charts also in pre-season. What do you think, Alex? What happened? All of a sudden, even the Mercedes is having problems.
Yeah, they had some reliability issues, but I mean, this always happens when you're pushing the limit. Mercedes have had a really, really good run. That's more of a surprise. I think that Mercedes have had such a good run for so long. And Aston Martin are short on mileage, but the car looks okay. I think it's definitely going to be one of the teams fighting for the top of the midfield. And like Paula said, I couldn't have answered it any better. It is going to be interesting to see what they can do. Can they win that midfield battle again? That's the big question. But for Vettel, it's a big year. I understand. I know you're a Vettel fan, but Vettel needs to have a strong year. He needs to beat his teammate. Because if Lance Stroll beats him, that's not going to be good for Sebastian Vettel.
And since obviously I'm an old schooler, and we're we're also fond of Fernando Alonso, and he's back again in Renault. And what do you think about that, Alex?
I'm excited. I don't normally, I'm not very excited about old guys coming back into the sport because there's normally so much young talent coming through. But to be honest, two reasons why I like Alonso coming back. First is I don't think he's taking the place of anyone that's truly very special. It wasn't like a couple of years ago when we had Leclerc coming, then Verstappen coming, then George Russell coming. I really wanted to see those drivers in the sport, and I didn't want some old fuddy-duddy taking that spot. But I don't really see any superstars right now trying to get into Formula One at the moment that I really want to see in a Formula One car. The second reason why I want to see Alonso back is it's because it's Fernando Alonso. You know, he's always exciting to watch. He's always maximum attack. Even when it's Friday and his first runs on Friday, free practice ones when the track is dirty, you see him on the limit. He's always the first guy to be pushing the limit straight away, and that intensity is always exciting to watch. I just hope he has the car for it, because if the Renault, this year is going to be a building year. If Renault, if Alpine don't have a car for him next year, then I think Alonso will probably regret coming back to Formula One.
Okay, so and you, Paula, what do you think about Fernando?
I am a closet Fernando Alonso fan. I mean, I think obviously the many stories he's given us over the years, the championships he's won, and then of course that race in Singapore, I think still sticks in everyone's mind with Nelson Piquet, right? So you've got these different nuances, and then you see him sitting out. What race was that, Alex? When he was sitting on a sun deck, just finishing out the Grand Prix, and all these on a lounger, right? So you see all these memes of him just finishing, and he's telling his team that this car is like I'm karting again. And then he kind of seems the opposite kind of person come the media scrums, when he kind of backtracks and fast pedals and says, "Oh, the team are doing a great job." So I was a little bit conflicted with some of the things he was doing. I was like, is he disingenuous? Because in the heat of the moment, the team radio is really where they're at, and the things they say is what they're feeling. But then he would come back in the media scrums and say the right thing. So I just enjoyed the kind of storylines he's given us, but I do also, as Alex says, look forward to seeing this driver be on top of his game, because it's like he never took his foot off the pedal. Alex said he's kept himself so fit, hasn't he? Not being in a car this past year, but he's got in and he looks confident, he looks strong, and we know that he will kind of squeeze the best performance he can out of any damn car he's driving, right? If there's a taxi, he'll gun it.
Okay, and now we go from basically the old school to the new schoolers out there. And who do you think, Alex, is the best rookie now coming into F1?
Paul and I were talking about this. I think Mick Schumacher on paper looks to be the most exciting. He won the Formula 2 championship last year, and he did a really good job in winning that. He deserves to be in Formula 1. And of course, he has a Schumacher name, son of Michael Schumacher, 7-time world champion. Having said that, he's in a Haas. And, Haas have not done any development for this year's car. It doesn't look quick in preseason testing. It looked pretty poor. So I don't think we're going to see much of Haas and either of the drivers, Mick Schumacher and, of course, the other rookie, Mazepin. Mazepin. So it's... I'm going to have to go with Tsunoda. I always say it that way. I think Tsunoda in the Toro Rosso, it will be exciting to watch. It's a good team, and of course, if Tsunoda does well in the Toro Rosso, who knows? We might even see him in a Red Bull one day.
Right. Yeah. And you, Paula?
I completely agree with Alex. I think, unfortunately, it is a wonderful thing to see the Schumacher name up there on the on the timing boards, but nothing amazing from Haas is going to happen at all. And it's just strange that the team decided to go with two new rookies in complete contrast to their ethos when they got two veteran drivers they decided to go with when they first started out this F1 team. So I mean, it's a strange choice, but great for these two young drivers to kind of cut their teeth with the big boys. But I think it will be the Japanese driver who is the one to watch, who will give us probably some superstar moments.
It's good that you brought it up, because I read Karun Chan-hook's article on maybe it would have been better if in Alfa Romeo you'd have Kimi Raikkonen and maybe Mick Schumacher there. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wasn't Cameron calling you up the other day for advice, Paula?
Yeah, it was just time was
Yeah, it was. But yes, no, Karun's right. I think for a talent like Mick Schumacher, I think going to Haas is the wrong choice. And you know, Ferrari definitely value him because, I mean, you know, they revere his, you know, his father, Michael. It would have been better for his development to be stuck to go to Alfa Romeo and be understudy Raikkonen. You know, I think that would have been a much better seat for him. But you know, but anyway, it is what it is. Schumacher just has to stick with the Haas, and he just needs to dominate his teammate. And do that, then he'll have more years in Formula One.
Okay, so last question, guys. Looks like we have to wrap it up. Okay, Paula, Alex, what can we expect from your coverage of F1 this year? Anything new? Secret.
Alex.
Paula? You'll see me mispronouncing names all the time. I'll be calling
Making up team names.
Alpine Renaults and making up names.
Instead of Toro Rosso.
Paula, yeah, I'll be calling something. I'll be probably calling them Jordan or something. But and then we'll see Paula sparkling as ever.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, and Paula.
I just hope that we can get through the 23 races. You know, looking at the calendar, going to be in Europe pretty early on. I just really, fingers crossed, hope things stabilize so that we can, you know, we can get these venues and we can get finally a Dutch Grand Prix as well. That's going to be awesome for you. You know, being a Max Verstappen fan, to see him in a sea of orange. So, you know, that was something that we did miss as well. So the new venues, I just hope that it all stays status quo and that we can get a comprehensive season.
Yeah. And I hope that we see you live on the track soon, and when we beat this pandemic.
Yeah, I think we all missed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we won our Singapore Grand Prix back, so we hope that stays as well.
Yeah, and even
Absolutely.
Yeah, we miss all of these Southeast Asian events, really. Okay, so guys, thank you very much, and we hope we can do this again soon. Okay, yeah, bye bye.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay,
bye.
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 Enjoy the season.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye bye.